La Belle Vivace.
Written by Michael Kent. Narrated by Nick Herlach and Michael Kent.
I was at La Belle Vivace on Valentine's Day, and I was alone. He told me that he'd meet me here at 5:30, but it was almost 6. I was doing my best to hold myself together, but I couldn't stop the tears from gathering in my eyes, the tremble of my lips. Didn't he know how important this was to me? Didn't he care? And then a man slid into the booth opposite me.
Sorry, I know this is awful tactless of me. I saw you here, and, well, no one comes here on Valentine's alone. Not by choice. So I wanted to tell you a story, if you're willing to listen.
It scared me when he just sat down, but his voice is gentle, and right now I need anything to distract me from the thoughts going through my head, so I nod tightly at him.
I was 8 when all this happened, so you'll forgive if I'm a tad rough on the details. It was my 8th birthday when it started, that much I remember. And my parents took me and my best friend, a girl named Cherie, to an amusement park.
I scoffed. He walks up to a stranger who's been stood up on Valentine's and wants to tell me about his third-grade crush? His face has a distant look to it. My gut churns unpleasantly.
Cherie was a bit of a tomboy. She had real pretty red hair, but she forced her parents to cut it short so it wouldn't get in the way of our fun. We used to chase all over the place, tag, hide and seek. We'd get into all kinds of trouble, but lately she'd been a bit less active, tired out faster, wanted to sit in the shade more, got to telling stories and reading more. I didn't get it. I spent more time running off on my own, but my parents didn't seem to know or care that we were growing apart. It was my birthday, but she was coming along, regardless of my wishes.
I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this story. Who was Cherie? Why do I have a feeling that this story has a sad ending?
It was a hot summer day, and I wanted to run all over, ride every ride, play every game, and eat ice cream. My parents told me to have fun, but they stayed with Cherie and took a more leisurely course through the park. My father held a parasol for her the whole time like she was a foreign princess. Her red hair was really stunning under that white parasol.
What a strange story to tell a stranger. It certainly isn't making him look good. It's like he didn't even care about his best friend. It's obvious that something was wrong.
I met up with them for the games, at least. Cherie and I took turns at the dartboard until we earned enough points for the grand prize, a teddy bear bigger than either of us. It was my birthday, so I knew it was mine, even if its blue bow tie did make a really stunning contrast with her brilliant red hair.
Sure, he was 8, but he was a boy. Obviously, the teddy bear was for the girl, especially since she was sick.
The day wound down. I'd been running all over, so I was getting pretty tired and even a bit cranky. We all piled into the car and drove by the trailer where Cherie lived with her family to drop her off. My mother helped her out, and my father popped the trunk and carried my teddy bear to the door. Surely they were just showing it off. Surely they wouldn't be giving my bear away to the redhead who'd stolen all the attention on my birthday.
He's got at least 20 years on the little boy that he was, but he somehow channels a bit of that boy's righteous indignation. It's almost a little adorable, and I stifle a giggle. He grinned sadly at me, and I realized that was very much on purpose. He's really got some balls sitting at my table and playing with my feelings. Still, I can't help but want to hear the rest of his story, so I make an impatient gesture for him to continue.
The bear barely fit through the door into that trailer, but my mother carried it in and spent some time with Cherie or her parents. I don't really know. I stayed in the car. If I'd gone in, I could have seen her red hair one more time. An eternity later, we drove home. I gave my parents the silent treatment for a while. Pitched a fit at the dinner table that night. A very short fit. My father showed me a wrapped package and said they were going to give it to me for my birthday, but if I wanted to be a brat, they could just return it. It was an action figure, Power Ranger maybe, or G.I. Joe.
What kind of story even is this? He wasn't even there for the important parts, and the parts he was there for, it's like they don't matter. And what's with her red hair? Did she dye it? Or die?
I think that I saw Sherry twice more after that. Maybe 3 times. She was at the hospital, lying in bed with an IV line and a beeping monitor thing. That Teddy was right there beside her. The last time I saw her, she thanked me for it. It was like the Cherie I'd grown up with was already gone. She was bald and had almost no energy. She still enjoyed telling stories, but she sometimes had trouble focusing, and once she fell asleep in the middle of talking.
Tears are running down my face. It can't end like this. It just can't. Tell me that Cherie got better, that they married and lived happily ever after. But I know better. I knew from the beginning, really. That terrible churning in my gut.
And then there was the memorial service and funeral. For the viewing they had her all prettied up, even a red wig that was almost like her brilliant red hair, but it wasn't, not really. And she wasn't running and playing, or even sitting in the shade of an oak tree telling me a story or reading to herself. No, I never saw that Cherie after my 8th birthday.
I pull out some Kleenex to blow my nose. How dare this man do this to me? I hate him. Why did he have to tell me about Cherie?
I came home from school one day and my parents had a giant box wrapped up like a present on the table. I think that I knew what was inside when I saw that box. I didn't want it, but my mom said one thing to me before I could run out of the room. Cherie wanted you to have it.
At that, the dams burst and I start bawling. Fuck this guy. I run to the restroom and hide in a stall, crying my heart out. When I come out of the restroom and return to my booth, the man is gone. In his place is a giant teddy bear. It's a bit worn, but the blue bow tie is still bright. A note is scrawled on a piece of paper on the table. Cherie would have wanted you to have this. Remember that loving is worth it, even when it hurts.